Today I'll be showing you how to replace the right housing on a PowerBeats 3 wireless. All the parts and tools can be found in the description below. As you can see here, the speaker completely came off from the housing, so to get started we're going to remove this speaker and free up the wires. So we're going to take our heat gun, set it to roughly 200 degrees. Alright, as you can see there's a small hole right here, so we can take our flathead screwdriver, put that right in. We can pull the adhesive right off, like so. Now we got access to the solder points, so we can take our iron and unsolder that. Next, we're going to have to take the top cover off from the housing. So again, we're going to use the heat gun. Get the top cover off from the housing. We're just going to go right between where they meet up and lift up. You can use any pry tool or your fingers. If you heat it up enough, it should come off quite easily. Now we got the battery here. As you can see, the battery actually got corroded on here a bit. So to get the battery, we're going to move this plastic piece covering the points. Next, we're going to take out the air hook. There's a screw right in here. Next, we're actually going to pull out the wire from the housing itself. Again, we'll use the heat gun for this. Alright, now we will take our replacement housing. And we will feed our wires right through that opening right there. We're also going to put the air hook right back in. Now we got to make sure that the air hook and the wire be aligned and that the screw goes through both of them. As you can see, the plastic, the wire itself is not lifting up, nor is the air hook, so the screw went through both the air hook and the wire nicely. It's nicely secured. Next, we can put the battery back on. And I'll be using a helping hand for this. I also got a new battery as that battery needed to be replaced. Before we proceed, I'm going to clean up the end points here. I'm going to add a little bit of flux. The blue wire would go on the positive. Actually, before we do that, we're also going to add a little bit of flux to the points here. That will just ensure that it will be a nice clean surface for it to get soldered onto. Next would go the small red, right in the center. And then the copper red would go in the negative. Now you can test to see if your PowerBeats power up. After you have done that, you can feed the wire through the opening for the speaker. Alrighty, now we're going to solder the speaker on. I'll be using the helping hand for this as well. Now you can test to make sure that your speaker is working properly. After you've done that, we can assemble everything back together now. So we want to feed most of the wire back into the housing. Alright, and now we're going to glue the speaker. So we're going to take our adhesive, go along the edge of the housing. Now we can apply the adhesive to the main housing. Just put it right in between where the air hook and the wire are. Now we can clean up any excess by taking some rubbing alcohol and wiping it off. Now we'll take a rubber band to make sure to hold it while it's curing, so it'll cure nicely to the housing. And that's how to replace the right housing on a PowerBeats 3 wireless.